kitchen. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a roasted turkey, and then we're going to learn how to carve it. So to start off, we're just going to get a turkey, and I've already rinsed it out with warm water and patted it dry with some kitchen paper. And then now we're going to put on just a few simple ingredients. We're going to take butter that we kind of pre-melted and rub it all over the skin. You're going to end up using about a half a stick of butter, just all over, and just use your hands. It's the easiest way to get it on. And roasting a turkey can seem pretty intimidating at first, but it's actually really easy. No need to worry about doing it perfectly. It'll come out great. Okay, so we got everything all buttered up. And now we're just going to put on our favorite poultry seasoning. So you just take it and sprinkle it all over. You're going to use about a few tablespoons. Just get it over and then just pat it on. Next we'll wipe off our hands. Okay, and then I picked some rosemary and thyme from my garden. And rosemary and thyme are two herbs that go great with any poultry, especially with turkey. So I'm going to take some of the bigger stalks that I picked and stick them right inside the cavity. And the other rosemary and thyme I picked, we're just going to break it up into little pieces and just put it all over the top of the turkey. Kind of pat it on. If it falls off, that's okay. While it's roasting, it'll get all absorbed in the turkey. And then to roast it, I just have my roasting pan, and on the bottom I have just a regular cooling rack inside. And take the turkey and put it in there, breast side up. And I've already got my oven preheating to 325 degrees. And we're going to end up roasting the turkey for about 4 hours at 325, or until when you insert a meat thermometer, it reaches 180 degrees. So we'll get that in right now. So we're going to let that roast in the oven for 30 minutes. And then after that, we need to add some liquid to the bottom of the pan so that the drippings don't burn. So most recipes call for water, but why use water when you can use beer? I'm going to use 2 cans of a good English brown ale. And also at the same time, we're going to add just some vegetables. I have 2 stalks of celery, 1 onion, and a couple of carrots just around the turkey. And that's just going to add some nice flavor to our turkey while it's roasting. So now our turkey's been roasting in the oven for 30 minutes, so it's time to add our liquid so that the juices at the bottom don't burn. So again, we're going to add 2 brown ales. And you just pour it right in the oven, don't need to take it out. And also we're just going to add a few vegetables around the outside of it. And this will just add more flavor to the burn and to the liquids at the bottom of the pan. So we're going to let our bird cook for about another 3 to 3.5 hours until we insert a thermometer in and it reaches 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Now if your turkey starts to brown too quickly, then you'll want to take some foil and tint it over top, just loosely, so that way the skin won't burn. And also if the cooking liquids cook off too soon, then you'll want to add some more beer so that the drippings don't burn at the bottom. And then when your bird is done, when you take it out, just let it sit on the counter for about 30 minutes, and then that way all the juices in the bird will go back up into it, and then it'll be nice and tender and juicy. So now our turkey's done roasting. I have it here on my cutting board, and I've discarded all of those vegetables that were in the roasting dish, and I've also drained all the roasting juices here into this bowl. So now we gotta carve. So carving, it's pretty easy. There's basically only 4 pieces to each side of the turkey. You got the leg and the thigh, and you got the wing and the breast. So it's only 8 pieces to carve up. So let's get started, and I'll try and do it this way towards the camera for me. And you start by cutting down into the skin, and we're gonna take the thigh and the drumstick off. So you just cut down until you kind of pull it away, and you should see the joint down here. So if you get your knife in there, you should be able to cut right through the joint. Then you get it all off in one big. So now we have our drumstick and our thigh here, and we just need to cut them apart. So just kind of separate them a little bit and find the joint, and then you just kind of cut down in between both of them. There we have a beautiful drumstick and one of our thighs. So now we need to take the wing off, and it's basically the same way. You just pull it away from the bird until you find the joint and then cut it. And there we have a beautiful wing. Now for the breast, if you were going to cut this table side, you would want to make thin little slices all the way through down the bird, as thin as you can and just straight up and down. But I think it's much easier to do it just in the kitchen and get it all prepared and then bring it to your guest. So what you do here is you just cut along right on the edge of the backbone right here. So if you see the bone is right here, we're going to cut right along one side of it. And you just keep cutting all the way down until you completely have cut it off. So just run your knife all the way down. Just follow the bone all the way down. You might have to turn it around. You just keep following that down. And there you go. And then this, we'll just cut into about a 1/2 inch slices. You don't want to cut your slices too thin, because if they're thin, they'll dry out a lot quicker than you want it to. Oh, that's smelling so good in here. I wish you could smell this. You smell all the rosemary and thyme and the poultry seasoning we put it on. Oh, it smells so good. Now all we need to do is the other side. We're going to carve it the exact same way. So now we have the turkey all carved up, and the last thing we need to do is just take those pan drippings, and I just pour a little bit right over top of the bird, and this will just give it a little bit more flavor and a little bit more moisture. It'll have all that rosemary and thyme and the poultry seasoning. There we go. And now the last thing that we get to do, or I get to do, is I get to taste it. It's so good. So moist and tender and juicy, and you can taste that rosemary and thyme and just a real subtle hint of beer flavor. It's so good. I hope everybody out there makes their own roasted turkey. And just remember, if you make it with love, you know it's going to be great.